It is time for an end of April garden tour. Now, we only did a tour 2 weeks ago and so much has changed. I can't even believe it. There is so much growth, so many more flowers. I literally feel like you blink and you miss something. Every day when I come out here with a cup of tea, there's something new to see, there's something to look forward to, and I am just buzzing about it. I do always get a little bit sad at this time of year, and I know this sounds ridiculous, but I feel like the excitement of spring after the winter, and you're just excited for those first flowers and the bulbs and just everything, and then it is over so quick and I feel like I'm not ready for it to be over, but at the same time I'm looking forward to all the new stuff that's coming. But I think it's just a reminder that a garden is so just fleeting and time just whizzes by, and it's like, how are we nearly in May already? Anyway, there's so much to see. We're going to do a full garden tour. I'm going to show you everything because stuff has changed everywhere. So let's go and have a look. So here we go, the statue garden. Do you see what I mean about the growth? Like, look at the size of this bleeding heart. This has to be one of my ultimate favourite perennials for spring gardens. I just think they are stunning. And they just grow so big, so quick. And then you come in here and just look at all of the fresh lime, like vibrant growth of the ferns. In fact, talking about ferns, all of my ferns have kind of unfurled. You can see all of the fronds have opened up, and everywhere, all around the garden, all my ferns are doing this, and it's just such a sign of like new life, and it's just, yeah, so exciting. And you'll see that there are still tulips in flower, but there's also a lot of other stuff going on, which is so exciting. Foxgloves are enormous, but the borders, just look how full they are. Look at the growth on this rose compared to 2 weeks ago. We've got buds, we've got it all going on. This clematis is about to flower, and things are just looking so full. The blossom on this Amelanchier is done, and we're now in leaf, which just makes the garden feel summery. The new growth and just the size of all these perennials, which are just waiting to flower now. This is London Pride, just looking gorgeous. Then, I mean, the cat, she's having a little snoozy. She's so funny. I'm just about to plant a dahlia there, Darcy, so you better watch out. But all of this planting right by the pond has just sort of started to really come into its own. We've got new pond plants, which I'm just absolutely loving. I don't want to get too close because the water feature is quite loud, and I think that might come through on the mic. But I'll show you that another time when the fountain's not on. But the planting is just looking great. We check the tadpoles every day. They're looking good. Now, one big change since 2 weeks ago is that I had a huge clematis on that fence that had got too old, too woody, and needed refreshing. It was an early flowering variety, so once the best of the blooms were over, I hacked it all the way back to almost to ground level, back to the first pair of buds that I could see. And I just decided that I was just going to take a punt on it and really hope that it came back. Now, on closer inspection, I did that yesterday. It's got little eyes and there's new bits of growth coming already, and that's literally in a week. So I'm really pleased about that. Now, in the interim, because I feel like the space is really empty now because that's always been there, I am going to be growing some annual climbers just to fill that space. So I've got Cobaea, which is an insanely vigorous climber. So I've got a couple of Cobaea that I'm going to put actually where the cat is. And then I've also planted some sweet peas around this obelisk to give me a bit of height and a bit of colour, because this kind of is a sunny spot through here. And then I've also got, what was the other climber that I've got? A couple of other different climbers actually. Black-eyed Susan, a pink one, which is pretty vigorous as well. So yeah, I've got some bits just to give me a bit of fence coverage. And then hopefully by this time next year, we'll be back to having some foliage. I won't get flowers next year because of what I've done, but it will cover the fence again, which is great. All of my climbers I have tied in. I mean, look at all of the growth on this clematis. It's absolutely insane. So I'm just regularly every week making sure that everything's tied in so that it goes nice and tall. I think what often happens, especially in May, is you suddenly get really vigorous growth, and if you're not on the ball with tying things in and staking them, it can all become a bit of a mess. So I've already started some of my staking. I've got tons more to do in May, and I'll take you along for that little journey as well. But honestly, I'm so pleased with how everything's looking. The pond area is just looking lovely. The grasses are in seed over there, in flower, seed heads. Actually, no, I think they've been in flower. I think that is seed heads. I've got a lily that's coming up at the back. The fatsia is just about to get its new leaves. My dwarf lilac is coming into flower. And then the wisteria of dreams is just starting. So the first blooms are on this corner. There's a lot more to come, a lot more to come. So the next time we do a video, I think we'll be in full bloom. But yeah, just everything is looking lush and green and just absolutely gorgeous. I sit on here most mornings and have my cup of tea, and my view down the garden is this, and it literally makes me happy every single day. We've had the odd meal under there, and we do sometimes pull that table out and have it near the barbecue over there, but I love that area so much. So that is the statue garden. And then around here we have, we've jet washed this patio, but this patio is kind of the bane of our life. It was here when we bought the house. We make the best of it, but we've had so much going on in the garden and the house actually that it hasn't been a priority. But I think in the autumn we plan to come up with a plan of what we're going to do with this long term. A few different suggestions, nothing set in stone, but definitely it is going to be going at some point. So over here is a lovely sunny spot that I have got a few seedlings that are just soaking up the sun before they get planted out, and then I potted up some dahlias which are now waking up. I only did these less than 2 weeks ago. I just put the tubers in compost and just left them here. So they've started to wake up, which is good. And then the plants that are here are going to be going on the container garden, so I'll show you that in a bit. So it's kind of like a bit of a sunny holding area, shall we say. So in the next few weeks, all of this will be going because it will be time for me to yank out all of the bulbs. I replace my bulbs every year, which will naturally free me up with a few little spaces in the borders where I then plug it with the seeds that I've grown from seed, and that will be the borders done for summer. I'm also going to plant out a couple of dahlias in here as well, but it is, God, just such an exciting time. Now, let's go round to the container garden. Now, I'm giving you a pre-warning. This side of the garden looks hideous because we've done the lawn since last time we saw you. So the lawn was something that we were desperate to do. It was 12 days ago that we put the seed, we did the whole lot. We treated the whole lot and it looked terrible. This is where we're at now. Ta-da! So we did the first week, and what we noticed was enormous, almost adult-sized poos where the pigeons just could not keep off of it. And in this area in particular, where actually our baldest bit had been, like there was no grass at all, the pigeons just would not leave it alone. So that is why we now have netted it, just to give us another week. And then what we did is we actually reseeded where the pigeons had eaten it all. But the rest of it, is looking insane. If we look from up here, it is so lush, it is so green. There was patches all over it. So all of that teeny tiny seed is germinating, it's coming through, it's filling in the patches, and it is amazing. So that's a really good job. Then we've got a load of wood and some postcrete here because, and I can say it now because my son's not in earshot, but we have got a secret project going on starting this weekend. So this little corner we are turning into a big swing. So we got rid of a climbing frame which was not used by the children, But the only thing my son loves is a swing, and we don't have a swing anymore. So the cabin is great. It's like a games room for the boys and they love it. But we really want the younger one to have his swing back. So we've never built a swing on this scale before. We're building a frame, and then we want the flexibility to be able to change the swing attachment so we can have different swings on it for him. You can get some pretty cool swings, like skateboardy kind of swings and all sorts. So it's going to be pretty big, but it'll be lovely for him to just have that. So he's going to help digging. He thinks we're making a pergola, and then we will add the swing. So we've just got to take some decking up, dig, put the posts in. I think we might have to dig up a few, I don't know. It's all going to go back together. And then I have got another Fatsia to plant in the back just to make it a bit green. So it's kind of going to look a bit like a jungly corner. So we can't wait for that. We love a family project. Then this border, since last time you were here, oh my God, literally 2 weeks growth, and it is incredible. So everything in this border, I've either grown from seed, mostly grown from seed. Oh, look at that bee. Or it is cuttings or divisions of my own plants. So this has literally cost me like a packet of seeds, a few packets of seeds, and it is so full, and it's super exciting because all of this stuff is what kicks in after the spring bulbs. Oh yeah, look, you can see loads of the new grass here. Can you get close and see that? Look at it all. It's amazing. We're having to water a lot, and we've got really hot weather coming, but it's not a problem. Then we've got all of these grasses along here, and then the dahlias are all here, and then the greenhouse is very busy, although I'm literally starting to kick everything out because in the next 2 weeks it will all be gone. In fact, I'm hoping in a week that because we've got hot weather coming next week, everything's just going to die if it's in here. So I need it out and I need it planted. The risk of frost has gone, game on. And then just look at the container garden. So we're 2 weeks since we were last here, and my next tulips are in flower. So the colour has shifted slightly. We've got lots more burgundies. I mean, they're actually, they call them black, but they're not black. They're like a deep plum. Oh my God, the colour is just insane. So we've got the plummy ones that have come through, and then the orange and the pink have come through. So that's kind of the next flourish of flowers that have come through. And then some of the original pots of bulbs that I had, which gave me the early colours, so the mascara and the daffs, those pots are done now, and I had hyacinths in there. So actually that whole pot will be coming out. That whole pot will be coming out. And then I will do my switch over and add perennials and bedding plants. And then that will set me up all the way until summer and autumn. So May is a really busy time. So literally next month, well, actually in the next couple of weeks, it's going to be busy as I do the switch over. Now, it has made me think a lot about this border, and I'm going to do things a bit differently next year. I feel like, well, I don't feel like, it's true. All of this stuff in pots just hanging around is waiting, because usually I have a cut flower border to plant it in, but it's not the right colour scheme to go in there because, of course, I make things difficult for myself and change my colour schemes every year. And the bulbs aren't quite done. So next year, I'm going to scale back the bulbs even more so that I've got more space to plant things, because in here, I want to get out all my dahlias, all my larkspur, all my snapdragons, all my other cut flowers. I've got a lot to cram in, and I just feel like I'm almost wishing the tulips away. And then because they were quite crowded, the plan had been that I would have can you see those forget-me-nots in there? Oh, let me come closer, just being attacked by a bee. These gorgeous light blue forget-me-nots. I've actually got them planted all the way along the front, but I think that some of the tulip foliage had kind of blocked that out. So my plan was it was going to be a sea of blue with tulips popping through, but the timings didn't quite work out, and actually I've got lollipop primula in there that you can't really see. So every year when we kind of grow things and we do things, we learn and we adapt and we change things for the following year. So I know what I want to change for next year, and that is less tulips and more space, just more space. I think I'm going to grow more biennials, which I'll do in June, and just, yeah, change it up a bit. But what I have learned is that I absolutely adore these colours, purple and plum, and the dual colours. Yes, please, all day long. Absolutely love them. And it is the first year that I have grown this variety of anemone, and I'm absolutely in love. Purple and red is a vibe, and I'm here for it. I absolutely love those colours together so much. I think they're incredible. And the great thing about anemones, you deadhead them and you do get more flowers. I haven't grown that red variety, so I don't know how many flowers you get per stem yet, but they're much better than a tulip. So yeah, I'm thinking more anemones, more forget-me-nots, less tulips. I might even do maybe more daffs because they come earlier, maybe some white daffs. But anyway, I'm already planning it all. And then, yeah, I've just got lots of stuff waiting to be planted out. But it's super exciting. It is one of my favourite months in the garden, May, because it's just so exciting. So that is my last April garden tour. I just can't believe how quick the month's gone. I think it's really easy to feel a bit overwhelmed with May coming up, because when the risk of frost has gone, there's like no excuse not to get everything planted out, which is obviously what we want to do. But equally, it's still a great opportunity to sow some seeds. So I've got loads of seeds that I need to sow. I've still got seedlings which are way too tiny to plant out. So it's just about sowing and nurturing the last things for the year, really, and then just getting ready for summer. And it is such a nice feeling when I do my pot switchovers, because the things that I plant up are then in there till the autumn. So I find it, yeah, I just find it quite therapeutic, like out with the bulbs, in with the summer stuff, sit back and relax, she says. Who's she trying to kid? But no, I do just love this time of year. In the UK, we've got amazing weather coming next week, which means I don't want stuff sitting in my greenhouse drying out. I want to get as much planted as I can, just so that I can enjoy the weather and not be worrying so much. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more of me in my family budget garden.